This is a tale of Anakin the Fallen. He was born under a sun that did not care whether he lived or died. As a boy, Anakin knew chains before he knew freedom. Not always iron, sometimes they were hunger, sometimes fear, sometimes the quiet understanding that his life belonged to someone else. He learned early how to listen without speaking, how to work without rest, how to hope without expecting anything in return. But there was something different about him. People noticed it in small ways at first. The way he could sense things before they happened, the way he moved, quick, precise, almost as if the world whispered its intentions to him. Some called it luck, others called it unnatural. His mother simply called it a gift, and feared what that gift might cost him, because gifts like his rarely go unnoticed. When he was taken from that life, it felt like salvation. For the first time, he saw a path beyond survival, a purpose. He was told he was special, that he could bring balance, peace, order to a broken world. For a boy who had owned nothing, those words meant everything. He clung to them. He trained. He fought. He became a symbol, someone people believed in. In war, he found clarity. There was always an enemy, always a mission, always a reason to keep moving forward. On the battlefield, the chaos inside him had direction. And yet, the war never really ended. It followed him home, lived inside him. Every loss carved deeper than the last. Every life he couldn't save stayed with him. He began to fear that no matter how strong he became, it would never be enough. That fear grew roots. He feared losing the few people he loved. Feared the helplessness he had known as a child. Feared that all his power meant nothing if he couldn't protect what mattered. And there were those who saw that fear. They didn't confront it. They fed it. They whispered to him, softly at first, that he deserved more, that he had been held back, that those around him didn't understand him, didn't trust him, didn't truly value him. He pointed out every slight, every moment of doubt from others until suspicion became certainty. Even his peers, those who stood beside him, kept him at a distance. They saw his strength, but they also saw something unstable beneath it. Their caution, their hesitation, it only deepened his isolation, and so he turned inward. Fear became anger, anger became hatred, hatred became suffering, that suffering became a kind of dark clarity. If the world was cruel, then he would be stronger than it. If others doubted him, he would prove them wrong. If loss was inevitable, then he would seize control of fate itself, no matter the cost. That was the lie that took hold of him. He told himself everything he did was for love, for protection, for a future where no one would suffer the way he had. But somewhere along the way, the line disappeared. The things he once would have protected, he began to destroy. Friends became obstacles. Trust became weakness. Compassion became a memory he could barely recognize. The fire inside him, once warm, now consumed everything it touched, and still, it wasn't enough, because hatred does not satisfy. It only demands more. In the end, the suffering he tried to escape became the only thing he had left. It surrounded him, defined him, hollowed him out until the boy he once was, the hopeful child staring at the horizon, was gone. Or so it seemed, because even in the darkest places, something small can remain, a memory, a voice, a moment of truth. When it came, it wasn't loud. It didn't arrive with power or fury. It came quietly, as a choice. To see at last what he had become, to understand the weight of everything he had destroyed, and to decide, just once, not to choose fear. In that final moment, he did the one thing he had failed to do his entire life. He let go, not of power, not of anger, but of the need to control everything, of the belief that he could force the world into something it was never meant to be. He chose love without fear, and it cost him everything. In saving the last thing he cared about, he destroyed the monster he had become. And with it, himself. When he died, there was no glory, no victory, only silence, and the quiet end of a long, tragic story. But somewhere beyond that silence, perhaps there was peace. Because for the first time since he was a boy, under that unforgiving sun, he was finally free. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and activate the notification button to support the channel. We seriously appreciate your support.